Welcome, welcome, one and all. Winter Wizard here. And in this video, I'm going to be delivering the latest news and channel updates for Winter Wizard 7. For joining me today, whoever you are, and welcome to this little video of mine where I'm going to be delivering the latest news and channel updates for Winter Wizard 7. So we're here in the Frozen Fortress. It's cold and lonely. It's about mid-afternoon. I've just made a nice cup of tea over there, Terran Gold, and I'm joined as always by my comrade and co-host, Norwegian Troll Dimmu. And we were just discussing, and we thought to ourselves, you know what, we haven't done a channel update video in a few months, so lots going on, lots of things to talk about. So thought it was probably about time that we got this done, and so that's what we're here to do today. Like I said, loads to talk about. We've got 4 armies on the channel now, so these videos are going to be getting longer and longer the more armies we acquire. But what I'll quickly do is run through the itinerary of this video. We'll start with the army updates. I'll run through each of the 4 armies and let you know what's going on with them in my hobby world and content wise on the channel as well. Then at the end of the video, I've got a few exciting things to talk about, a couple of messages, and we'll wrap this video up from there. So now that I've just had a nice swig of tea, we're going to dive straight into this. Like I said, lots to do, so let's not beat about the bush. We'll start with the army updates. First of all, the Drowned Plague, the Death Guard. So yes, the Death Guard, the Drowned Plague, we're well into playing many a game with the new book. Absolutely loving it, having a great time. Haven't had loads to do hobby-wise with the Death Guard. I've been working on some of the other armies with some new exciting releases. But quite recently, you may have noticed on the channel, I did a collab series, and this was called the 7 Spawn of Nurgle. Now, this was a little series that we did with 6 other YouTubers, and very simply the task was to create a spawn of Nergal and make a tutorial video about it. So that's what we did. So you may have seen this model here. So this is my latest piece of hobby that I've been doing with the Death Guard, with the Drowned Plague. And this is my Chaos Spawn for the 7 Spawn of Nurgle collab series. So let me zoom in and give you a little good look at this. There he is then. So this is the model that I did my little video for the 7 Spawn of Nurgle collab series about. And this is a bit of fluff there. So this is a Chaos Spawn, but I created a little bit of a story about it. I don't want to go too much into this because that's what the video's for. So if you haven't seen the video, then please go and check it out. But essentially what I've done here is I wanted to create a Chaos Spawn to tell a bit of a story, and this is essentially the alternate version of Gargle Rot Deep, Swallower of Filth. So this is, this story goes, you know, the Chaos Gods, they are fickle beings, so as easily as they could elevate a champion to demonhood, could they also turn a blind eye and cast him into spawnhood. So, and that was the model that I did. So I was telling the story of what would have happened if, on the day Atlantis 4 sank, and the day Gargle drowned himself, what would have happened if Nergal had turned a blind eye and cast him into spawnhood. And this is what would have happened. So check out the video, 7 Spawn of Nergal, for all the lovely gory details of how I went about putting this model together, and then please go and check out all the other wonderful channels. I was so pleased to have 6 other people get involved with the series. It was a really wonderful experience and huge amount of fun. So there we go. So that was the latest bit of hobbying and also content on the channel for the Drowned Plague. Not got many plans to do a huge amount of stuff with them in the near future, mainly because they've already got so much content. They are the first army on the channel, so we've got a really nice solid foundation of content for them. But what I'm just really looking forward to is playing more and more games with them, and I may do some more of the army list stuff with the Death Guard. I have tweaked a couple of little things since the last video that I did, but until we get sort of like a major shake-up in points costs or things like that, I may just keep playing the army the way it is and leave the content as it is for now. But what I'm really looking forward to with the Death Guard is eventually, at some point in the future, is getting them on the tabletop, and hopefully getting some battle reports filmed for you. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and one other small thing to talk about with the Death Guard is hopefully I'm supposed to be, depending if they go ahead and depending on what my life schedule is like, hoping to get involved with a couple of events. I know that Bristol Independent Gaming will be hosting a couple of small tournaments. Now, I'm not particularly a hyper competitive tournament player, but I think it would be fun to. I think it'd be fun to have a go, and it's more of the social atmosphere. If it's going to be at big with a lot of people that I already know, then I reckon I'll enjoy it. And I know that there's the DZTV event called Southwest Showdown, which is going to be playing, which is happening in July, I believe, 17th of July. If you're on the DZTV Discord, you can find out all about that. So I've got a ticket for that. So the Drown Plague, we're going to be taking them to that. So I'm just really looking forward to playing some more games, and at some point here and there I'll be trying to think of some more ideas for some more Drown Plague content for you. But there we go then. So for now, that's the Drown Plague. So we'll move on and we'll take a look at the second faction of the channel now. Forge Phobos, the Cult of Fear. And now this is going to be very exciting indeed, because the Adeptus Mechanicus now has a new codex. Yeah, so the Adeptus Mechanicus have got their 9th edition codex, and well, it is a beauty. It's a complex one, but yeah, I'm thrilled to have this book. I've said it before, but in 8th edition, the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex, while I loved it, it did feel like it fell a little bit flat for me, a little bit quickly. I would have liked a few more options, a few more unit choices in the book. And I must say, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff in here. Tons and tons of units. It really does feel like a fully fledged range now. The HQ section's got 5 different HQs, plus Belisarius. As opposed to it used to just having 2 in Belisarius. So loads of options and loads of wonderful traits, loads of wonderful stuff. There's some scribblings there, me working on some list ideas. But yeah, it's an absolute beauty, it really is. But I won't spend too long flicking through this, because I've already done that. I've already done that on the channel. But yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful book. Like I said, tons and tons of options. Tons and tons of options. Yeah, I love just flicking through these books. I love just looking at them. They're absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I won't get too distracted here. Let's talk about, so let me show you what I've been up to with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Well, so the latest thing hobby-wise to come out of Forge Phobos was I got myself one of these. A Skatari Marshall. Let me zoom in and give you a look at this. Yeah, it's a Skatari Marshall. So we've got a new character in Forge Phobos. Now you've actually, if you have been watching the channel, if you've watched pretty much all the content here, if you cast your minds back down to when we released when we unveiled the new army this year, which was the Necrons, and there was a very short little piece of narrative in there. And that video is on its own as well on the channel. It's called KHEPRI Dynasty Has Awoken. And there was a very short little piece in there about the with the AdMech, where DYNASTY, the Fabricator General, was receiving a message from Arcus Covart, the techno-archaeologist. And the person who entered the room to relay the message to DYNASTY was the first Alpha Primus. And I didn't actually tell you his name in the video, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is that very first Alpha Primus. This is the head of the Skatari forces of Forge Phobos, and this is Gellet 49 Gloom. Yes, Gellet 49 Gloom. And it's an absolutely beautiful model. You know, when this model was released, I wasn't actually that blown away by it. I thought, yeah, it's okay, it's pretty nice. I'll probably get one just to add to the collection, and probably for the rules if they're nice. But having this model in person, I actually really love it. Really love it. I love he looks really sort of menacing, really mean. Yeah, he looks like a commander. Absolutely love it. So he's definitely going to be in the new list, the new army. There's some really cool rules that I'm going to be using for him. And yeah, so really excited, really pleased to have a new character and a new model and a new HQ choice for the Forge Phobos collection. So there we go. This is Gellet 49 Gloom, first Alpha Primus of Forge Phobos, the Cult of Fear. So that was the latest piece of hobbying that we did for Forge Phobos. Got ourselves a Skatari Marshall. But along with the new book, I took the opportunity. I was waiting for the new codex to come out, sort of do like a little mini hobby haul, along with the new release, to get all excited about it. Because I left sort of Forge Phobos, not on the shelf, but in the quiet. I kind of just, I didn't do too much work with them, or I didn't really read the book or play any games with them, because it got to the point where 9th edition had come along, and well, all the armies had sort of feel like they moved on, and I don't know, they felt like they were a little bit left behind. Anyway, I quite liked the idea that they were sort of lurking in the shadows, being all quiet, sort of reconvening, rearming, refueling, and getting ready, you know. And then when the new codex would come out, they'd be released with a new tactics, new way of playing, and a new bunch of units as well. So it felt really cool. So here they are. Forge Phobos are back on the scene, and along with the new book and the new release, I got myself a hold of a few new boxes of units. I've been talking about getting some of these for ages now. I've always really loved these. Back when Engine War was released, I ended up making a decision between buying the Taraxi, you know, the ones with the wings, or getting myself some Raiders. And at the time, I quite felt like getting the ones with the Taraxi. I really liked the ones with the wings. And they really sort of fitted the play style that I wanted to use at the time as well. And I am still going to use the Taraxi in my new list. But I also really liked these Raiders. I absolutely thought they were really cool. I like both options. I like the Sulphurhounds. I like them a lot, but I think the Raiders is much more Forge Phobos. Most definitely. I really like the sniping capability with these. I've got a very sort of specific way that I want to play this army. You see, this is which is kind of something that I do with all my armies. I like to have a sort of specific play style. So, you know, when I start a new army, I want to maybe think about what kind of play style have I not got, or what sort of way do I want to play with this army. And with the AdMech, there's tons of different ways that you can play with them. Like, the new book gives you so many options. You can really play the force that you want to play. But with Forge Phobos, I want this to be my sort of clandestine, infiltrating, kind of sneaky army, basically. And I like the idea of having lots of sniper weaponry, hiding in cover, negating enemy cover. Yeah, so these Raiders are going to work really well for that. Because these guys, they can ignore the lookouts. They can ignore the lookout sir rule. Very attractive. So there we go. Really pleased to have a couple of boxes of these. I'm really looking forward to getting them out, getting them made, getting them painted. Yeah, so having a great time with the new book and some new models. So what about content-wise on the channel for Forge Phobos? Well, not loads. We've got all the painting tutorials and all the conversion series and all that sort of stuff already. Plenty of showcases. I've just released a showcase of the Skatari Marshall here, Gellet 49 Gloom. When these are done, you'll be seeing a showcase video for these as well, in the Ranger variant, the Raiders variant. Other than that, content-wise on the channel, again, just really looking forward to playing some games. And I know I keep talking about it, but it will be far down the future. I do want to get into doing some battle reports and things like that. But what I'm going to really enjoy doing with the AdMech is I can really sort of delve into the list writing side of the content with Forge Phobos on the channel. So that's something that they don't have. It's a bit of content that I'm starting to get doing. And now with a new book, it's going to give me an option and a sort of opportunity to do maybe even a couple of the list proposal videos, you know, where I sort of sit down, write a list and say this is what I'm going for. You can then, in the comments section, get down there, offer some feedback, offer your own suggestions, and have an effect on the way that Forge Phobos wages war. So really looking forward to doing some of that. Some of the list writing stuff, as you saw, there's some scrawlings and some scribbles there, working on some bits and bobs. But so we're going to be doing content wise for Forge Phobos, perhaps in the not too distant future. I want to get it out reasonably soonish, I think. Give me sort of time to build up some units and things with some of the other armies. But Forge Phobos, so the next thing, hopefully in the not too distant future, because I'm going to aim to get it out reasonably soon, we'll see some army list development stuff for Forge Phobos. So some list proposals, followed by when I feel like I'm quite happy with the force, I'll do and I've got all the units painted, because I've still got a few things to get. Then we'll do a full army showcase with Tactica. So you can see the finished result. You can see what it looks like on the tabletop, and you'll see the finalized choices, and there we go. So some really cool stuff to look forward to with Forge Phobos. I'm having a great time. So pleased to have the new codex, so pleased to have these units which I've been after for a while, and yeah, having a great time. So Forge Phobos are back on the scene, and that's the little update for them. So we'll have a look at the third army on the channel now, who is of course the great company of Frostpaws, the Space Wolves. So as always, having an absolutely wonderful time collecting the Space Wolves. There's no, I don't really have a favourite army, but if I had to pick a favourite faction in the Warhammer 40k universe, the favourite faction to sort of hear stories about and to read about, it could very well be the Space Wolves. I absolutely adore them. So always having a wonderful time with the Space Wolves. And just very recently got some final units together, and have now hit that sort of 2,000 point army that we wanted to get. So I did hit 2,000 points of the Space Wolves quite a while ago, but I still had some particular units that I didn't have and that I wanted to get, and I'm still working on that 2,000 point go-to list that I like to talk about. So I like to have a sort of set go-to list, which is sort of the best representation of the army, and yeah. That was the latest hobby thing that we did with the great company of Frostpaws. Was we got ourselves some Wolfguard Terminators. Here we are, and full squads as well. Like not even just Terminators within ranks of Bloodclaws or Grey Hunters. These are two designated squads purely of Wolfguard Terminators, and I've been wanting to get some of these for such a long time. I'm not sure why it took me so long to get them, because these really are going to be the representative, the shield wall aspect of the Frostpaws, you know, that sheer resilience. And so anyway, let me zoom in, give you a closer look at these. Here we are then, so the Wolfguard Terminators, and these have got to be some of my favourite models. They're absolutely beautiful, and it is quite, it can be quite daunting, quite fatiguing painting units like this. So many little bits on them, so many little intricacies, but I always have the finished result. I'm always super pleased with it, and always have a great time. And it means that I get to paint something frosty, which is always lovely, you know. But there they go. So what I really like about these is I do actually typically tend to deep strike these in game. I've had a few games where I've been playing with that go-to list that I keep talking about, and I have been actually deep striking them in, which is not something that you see quite so commonly these days. Things deep striking, I don't think. But I absolutely love the idea that these guys they're the main shield wall, and the Wolfguard of Mjolnir Thunderhowl, who's the Jarl of the Frostpaws. And Mjolnir is represented by a Arjak Rockfist model. So what I really love the idea is, in the heat of battle, suddenly the skies fill with thunder clouds and black clouds, and there's a crash of lightning and a blast of thunder, and then suddenly these two squads of Terminators with Arjak comes down. Sorry. Then it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And what I've done is I've put in a couple of melters and combi melters, which is really cool, because what I was trying to do, one of the themes of the army is trying to get melters sprinkled within the army, sprinkled within the units, and I've tried to do that here, so they can drop down, fire melter shots off straight away, which I think is really cool. You know, if they get to fire that melt shot once or twice, it's not much of an expensive upgrade. It's like 5 points on one of these. I really do think it's worth it, and especially if the enemy is being quite cunning and they're keeping away from them. You know, you can't always get. What I didn't want to do is have units sat there with close combat weapons and they get stuck and they get stranded and they can't really do anything. So even if they're just punching out a couple of shots here, melters, or if they really want to with the bolters as well. I actually did this very subtle little bit of conversion stuff here where I took the storm bolter and got a hold of some melter tops here and just stuck them on the end there, so it's like a sort of side barreled melter gun there, which I think actually looks really cool. I think it works well. But there we go. So excited, so pleased to have Wolfguard Terminators raising the shield wall. So that's the latest bit of hobbying that we've done with the great company at Frostpaws. We've got our Terminators, we've got that go-to list, and we've been playing some games, having a great time. It's been quite tricky. I do like match play. I also really love like open play, the open play deck, the card deck with the and playing more narrative stuff and just throwing some objectives down and doing some random things as well. But I've been finding the match play quite mentally challenging with the Space Force, because they don't particularly want to sit on objectives. They want to get stuck into the enemy's face, so I've got to sort of have units that are going to sort of want to camp out, not be wasted. So it's been it's been a very interesting way to play with the Space Wolves. It's been quite challenging, but I've actually really enjoyed the sort of competitive challenge of trying to come up with a strong match play Space Wolves force. Not that I made it just for match play, but what I mean is building a strong force that can cope with match play. Yes, I'm really having a great time playing games with the Space Wolves. But content-wise on the channel, so a few things to talk about here. So we've got pretty much every unit that I've got has now got a showcase video. We've got, I did a little video, done a tiny little bit of conversion stuff. There's maybe something else that I might do for that. I've just finished the series called Winter Weather Weaponry. That was a very little painting series that we did where there's some specific weapons that you'll find in the Space Wolves army that have they have a weather feature featured in their title. For example, thunder hammers, lightning claws, storm shields, and frost blades. You know, frost axes, frost swords, things like that. So when I've painted these, I've sort of tried to come up with a sort of unique individual sort of style and aesthetic way of painting these, which is going to take sort of aesthetic influence from the weather feature that they're named from. So for example, like the thunder hammer here is going to be kind of like, it's got sort of like a stippled sort of cloudy thundercloud, very dark and black and grey with sort of little flashes of purple and white coming through. Lightning claws have tried to sort of resemble bolts of lightning, frost blades like ice, and storm shields here. As you can see, storm shields are quite a prominent feature in my army. Tried to create this kind of like stormy grey white sort of effect here. Anyway, so check out that painting series, Winter Weather Weaponry, for all these unique approaches to painting Space Wolves weaponry with taking inspiration from the weather feature that they're named from. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, perhaps you might be wondering, well, Winter Wizard, where's painting the Frostpaws? Where's the in-depth painting series for the Frostpaws? Because I did talk about that some time ago now, saying that I was going to get started on that very soon. And I'm sad to say that I haven't actually got started with painting the Frostpaws. So I've got a Ragnar Black main model here, who's ready to go, all built. And that's what the series is going to be. So it's going to be a multi-part series where I'm going to unveil all the secrets of painting the Frostpaws, all the different aspects of it, and it's all going to be on this one model. So if you watch the series from start to finish, you'll get to see Ragnar here painted from start to finish, and that's the idea of it. But I've kind of created, gonna be honest here, I've kind of created a little bit of a psychological hurdle with painting the Frostpaws, because I know that it's going to be a long series, and there is a lot to cover. So, and I've kind of just been putting it off and not finding the time to get on with it. And what I really need to do is just bite the bullet and get on with it. I've had quite a lot going on in life. It's made sort of sitting down and concentrating on and punching out content a little challenging for me. But things are improving, and I'm really trying my hardest to sort of sit down and get the painting series started and done. I suppose it's also a little bit that the painting tutorials, they can be a little bit tricky to film sometimes, just because you've got to consciously be sort of conscious on what you're doing and the camera, and it can just be not quite so relaxed or as easy as just sitting here and talking about stuff with you. But I haven't forgotten about it, and it is coming, and I'm gonna try and get it done as soon as possible. I want to make sure that the Frostpaws get their painting series before I start thinking about doing like the Necrons one. But yeah, so just thank you for your patience, and I'm trying my best to get the content out. And but like I said, the most important thing is that I've got to be enjoying what I'm doing, and perhaps a couple of times I've been just sort of creating a bit of a mental hurdle about doing the painting series, but I am going to get it done. It is coming, so if you are waiting for it, thank you for your patience. It is on the way. But apart from the big painting series for the Frostpaws, what other content can we expect for them on the channel? Well, we've got the Army List and Tactica videos to do, so what I'm doing is I'm playing a few games with this go-to list, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling reasonably happy with it, so I'm going to play some more games, and then at some point what I'm going to do is, hopefully in the not too distant future, is create a army list, a complete army list and Tactica video for the Frostpaws. So I'll show you this go-to list, I'll show it all laid out, we can have a real good tactical talk about it. So that's coming as well. So army list Tactica videos, painting the Frostpaws, still to come, and hopefully not too long. And so that's the update for the great company of Frostpaws. So we'll take a look at the fourth and final army now on the channel. And it is the Necrons, of course. It is KHEPRI Dynasty. So it makes me so excited that we've got 4 armies on the channel now, and that we've got a Xenos faction here. I'm hugely excited about the Necrons. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time. Collecting them. So I'm going to talk about content on the channel first, and then I'll show you the latest hobby update, because I've got something a little bit special to show you. But so content-wise on the channel, with all I'm doing with the Necrons is at the moment I'm slightly a little bit distracted by doing finishing off the sort of core foundation of content for the Frostpaws, the Space Wolves, and with the arrival of the new AdMech Codex, what I want to do is I want to get a few videos out for them. I'm also in the process, like you've seen, of building and painting some brand new units for the AdMech. So the Necrons, I worked hard on them for a few months. We got a nice bunch of things together. I'm taking not a break, just a small sort of breather, getting the AdMech sort of refreshed, model wise, and then I can get back onto building and painting some models with the Necrons. So content wise, everything that almost all the models that I've got done with the Necrons have now got a showcase video. And then once the painting series for the Frostpaws is done, we can start thinking about doing a painting series for the Necrons, and that series will be a fair bit shorter. The colour scheme is reasonably quick to paint. And apart from that, I think what we could do is, once I've sort of done it with the AdMech, with the Frostpaws, we can do some army development videos with the Necrons as well. No reason why we can't do that nice and early on. So I do actually have a good idea of how I want the final list, the final 2,000 point list, to be with the Necrons, but obviously it's going to take a few games to sort of find out what works, what I'm enjoying using. But that could be quite cool, and that's probably something that we could see in the not too distant future. Some army development stuff for the Necrons. So that's content wise, just going to be slowly building this up. Painting series and army development stuff eventually, after I've done a few bits with the other armies. After that, I've got some conversion stuff in mind for them, of course, as well. And one of the big things to say about the Necrons is they're going to need a lore story. So they're defining lore story, and I've got some ideas of where I want to go with it. But again, it's just those videos, they take a long time to make. The Space Wolves one, last one that I did, ended up being just under 50 minutes long, and it took me a solid 3 months to actually put it together. So but I have an idea of where I want to go with this story, and I'm actually really excited to share that with you. And I want to get that done by the end of the year, but again, like I said, they do take a long time, so we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, for now, expect showcase videos. I'm going to be doing some stuff with the other armies, and then we'll get on to painting series, conversion stuff, army list development stuff, and even a lore story for the KHEPRI dynasty. So in the true army update fashion, I like to show you the last little thing of hobbying that we did, but in this particular video, what I thought would be really exciting to do is actually to bring out everything we've got so far. Yeah, so let me bring them out then. KHEPRI dynasty, what we've got so far. So we've seen the Necron warriors. Here we go. And I'll give you a nice zoom in a minute. Here we go to look at these. So we've got some warriors here. And scarab swarms, of course. Like I said, we're going for the Necrons in gold, and their weaponry and the canoptic units built out of the sands of KHEPRI itself. So the canoptic units are going to be in sandstone. There they are. And we've got a chronomancer, which is absolutely one of my favourite models. This is AWOKEN, the sand steer, the sand seer, and some destroyers, Scorpic, Flavor Scorpic. And it was a really interesting painting challenge to get to do these blades, but I'm really pleased with the technique that with the result of the technique that we've come up with. It's actually really simple to do. When I say simple, it was really straightforward. Definitely, I really wanted to create a nice, simple but effective technique, and I definitely think we've achieved that here. But again, something for the painting series. Oh, and there's not to forget the little plasmasite there. And we've got a Doom Stalker. There he is. This great hulking beast made out of the sand. Very cool. Awfully swingy in games, I've noticed. I have done a couple of little 500-point games, but they are very cool. And then a canoptic spider. Absolutely love these models. I really love these things, and I was really excited to get a hold of one or two of these. So got one of those, and we've also got some tomb blades. Now these are very cool models as well, indeed. There we are. Let me make a little bit of room for these. Some tomb blades. There they are. And that's the collection so far. This is what we've got. And I really feel like it's coming on nicely, and I really love I love the sandstone and the gold mixed together. I think it's I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased. Yeah, I just get so buzzed when I see these guys all on the table together. I'm having such a fantastic time collecting the Necrons. But let me give you a bit of a zoom in, closer look at some of these. Here we are then. So we've zoomed in, and we've seen the warriors in the color scheme reveal video, but there they are again. The gold armor. It's gold washed with purple, actually. Gold washed with purple. And then these golden masks here, like the old death masks of Egypt, and sandstone weapons there, with of course the sandstone canoptic units, so the sandstone scarabs there. And then is AWOKEN, the Sand Seer, Chronomancer. Absolutely beautiful model, absolutely beautiful. It was really fun to paint as well. And again, like I was saying, this colour scheme, it's really not actually, it's quite quick, which is something I wanted. I wanted a quick colour scheme, because now I'm starting to collect quite different armies and trying to get content for all of them done. It's nice to have an army that wouldn't take crazy amounts of time to do. There we go. There's the blades there. Really pleased with those. Yeah, and we've seen the Doom Stalker. Yes, this great hulking War of the Worlds style thing. Absolutely love him. Really cool. huge. They're so tall as well, absolutely massive, these things. It's like almost as tall as my hand. In fact it is, it's just about anyway. And a spider, sort of mummy for the scarabs here. And beautiful models, beautiful sculpts, and this is one of the older Necron sculpts as well. It still looks amazing. You know, it suits all the new stuff. Yeah, it was a real pleasure to paint this model. Absolutely awesome. It's really cool actually. You can't really tell. Maybe I should have magnetized it just for demonstrations and stuff, but this whole carapace type, this whole body, this abdomen, inside there is crawling with scarabs. And I didn't glue it together at first. I went through the effort of actually painting all the individual scarabs. Well, there's tons of them in there. These tiny little scarabs. You might be able to see just a little peek of some there. But yeah, beautiful model, beautifully themed. And then the latest addition, this was the last thing that we worked on, was the tomb blades. These things are absolutely wonderful. So cool. Just love these like bikers, these fast little things. You're zipping all over the place. These big guns, and kind of wish they had some kind of blades on them actually. You know, for like just something like a strength 4, AP -1 attack or something like that. But they're awesome, absolutely cool. I put them on some slightly bigger bases actually. Well, the flying base is actually under the sand, and then stuck that on I think it was a 40mm base, just to give them a little bit more of something to stand on, because I felt like they were a little bit short, a little bit small. But there we go. So we'll zoom back out. And there we are then. So that's the complete collection of KHEPRI Dynasty so far. Just thought it'd be really cool to give you a little bit of an update of how they're coming along, and sort of give you something to sort of get excited about. So I've got to do a showcase video for the tomb blades, but then well, I need to make some more units. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get another 10 warriors together, some more scarabs, maybe like have a nice get together, put together a nice big swarm of scarabs, maybe like scarabs, maybe a swarm of 9 or something like that. And yeah, do some warriors. Maybe make the I've got a Plasmancer, which was bought for me on my birthday, so might get him together. Yeah, just sort of slowly start building up the units a bit at a time, and hopefully hit the 1,000 point mark and start playing some games with them. But having an absolutely fantastic time with KHEPRI Dynasty. Really hope that you like the colour scheme that we've got here. I know I've showed you it before, but now that you can see it sort of fully fledged with the sandstone and the gold all working together as one big army, really hope you like it. So let me know down in the comments if you approve. And yeah, so that's KHEPRI Dynasty. And there we go then, so that's all the army updates. And another thing just to mention, it's so nice to actually have all of these books in 9th edition form. This feels really nice. You know, it sucks that some people still haven't got their codexes yet. I'm very lucky that the armies that I collect all have their own books, and that's just really satisfying to look at for me. So yeah. But there we go, those are the army updates. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about just a couple of other exciting things, and a couple of messages about some other stuff going on. So the first and most exciting thing that we've got to tell you is, perhaps you've already seen some updates about it, but myself actually got the opportunity to go and have a game with none other than Mr. Winters SEO. So Winters, I got to go and meet Winters, and we had a game, and it was absolutely fantastic game. I took the Drowned Plague, and we had a fantastic game. And yeah, I'm just not really sure what to say. It was just a real pleasure just to meet him and be able to get a game in with him. So. But that game is on YouTube and it is available for you to watch. So what I'm going to do now, what I'm going to do, at the time of filming this, the video won't have been uploaded. But on the day that I release this video, I believe that the battle report from Winters is going up at the same time. So what I'm going to do is, when the video's gone up, I'm going to go into the featured battle reports playlist on the Drowned Plague section of the content on the channel, and I'm going to add the little video into there. So go and check. So we've got a battle report for you to watch here. So go and check out that game over on Winters SEO. Get to see Winter Wizard versus Winters SEO, the Death Guard versus the 13th. His Space Marines, which he's most well known for. And we actually played a game out of the open play deck, the narrative mission deck with the random stuff in it, and had an absolute blast. It was a real pleasure and a real honour. He's a real gentleman in real life. If you ever get the chance to meet him, it's strong, highly recommend it. So go and check out that game, and if you haven't already subscribed to Winters SEO, then hit the subscribe button, drop him a comment, drop a comment on the video, say Winter Wizard sent you, and yeah, so there we go then. So really exciting stuff indeed. I will be going back and playing some more games with him, so we've got that to look forward to as well. Something on a slightly more serious note that I'm going to talk about. Earlier this week I actually released a video. It was just a very short little message. It was about Bristol Independent Gaming. So Bristol Independent Gaming is the club that I go to. It's an absolutely wonderful club run by wonderful people, filled with some of my absolute wonderful friends. And so, long story short, Bristol Independent Gaming are moving to a new premises. There are many reasons why they need to do this. It's going to be really helpful. I've seen the new place, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really cool. But the only thing that the new place is lacking currently, it's actually on the first floor. So it currently lacks a disabled access, or in the form of a stair lift to get up to the first floor, and it currently also lacks a disabled facilities, i.e. a toilet. So Bristol Independent Gaming have put together a Just Giving campaign, and they're basically asking for £5,000. Well, they're asking for donations to help them meet their £5,000 quote to get a stair lift and a disabled toilet fitted into the new premises of the club. What this is going to do is going to be able to give access to all kinds of people of all kinds of mobilities. It's going to give them access to the same great, wonderful gaming experience and social communal experience that many of us are very, very lucky to have. So I'm going to put a link to that video down in the comments section below, or you can find it on the channel. Just so if you've got 6 minutes spare, please give it a watch. I go into it a little bit more in depth in the video, and I'll link you to the page as well. And if you feel like you can spare even just a little bit, that'd be really, really wonderful. It'd be really touching. So please check that out, and if you can help, then that'd be awesome. But that's really it for the channel update today. Those are the big things to talk about. Those are the army updates and a couple of exciting things, and one slightly more serious thing to talk about there for you. So I'm just going to keep trying to work hard, getting on with things, and I'm gonna attempt to get on with that Frost Paws painting series. But other than that, I'm just having a fantastic time in the hobby. I hope you all are as well. And oh yeah, keep an eye out next week for hopefully next week anyway, for a channel message video or something a little bit special. I've got somebody to introduce you to, so that's going to be exciting. So keep an eye out for that video as well. But there we go then, so we're going to wrap this channel update video from there, and there's not much else to talk about. I'm just having a great time in the hobby, and I'm coming up with new ideas and new things that I want to do in the future. From things from lore stories to battle reports to even some events perhaps that I want to get involved in, or perhaps want to host. So I've got loads of ideas. I just want to also say a very quick thank you to all of you who have hit the like button, who have left a comment, who have hit the subscribe button. Those few things, they just really, really help the channel, especially hitting the subscribe button. It really helps the channel, really helps the algorithms, and even leaving comments of any kind. Even if you don't really know what to say, just let me know that you're keeping things frosty, or just comments for the comment god or something like that. So there we go then. Okay, enough rambling then. So if you have enjoyed the update today, if you enjoy my work, then a like and a comment would be very, very much appreciated. And if you'd like to see more of what goes on here inside the Frozen Fortress, then perhaps you'll also consider becoming a subscriber. And once again, whoever you are, thank you very, very much for joining me today. I'm Winter Wizard. That's Dimmu. And for now, keep it frosty.